Almost hit the button late. What's up, everybody? I'm Doggie Diamonds. You're now watching Doggie Diamonds TV. This source right here is hotnewhiphop.com. And the title is Freddie Gibbs breaks his silence on recent run-in with Benny the Butcher amid their beef. So, Freddie Gibbs has a couple of rap beefs to handle under his belt. And perhaps the most notable of them all is the conflict with Benny the Butcher. The former collaborators fell out earlier this decade, over a clapping joke, an alleged Buffalo beatdown, and more. But some fans thought they were on the cusp of a hatchet burial. Early this month, rumors emerged that Freddie Gibbs and Benny might have reconciled due to a Parisian airport meeting that recently surfaced online. For the record, it's still pretty unclear when exactly this happened. Some, like Westside Gunn, suggested this was a neutral moment of peace and possible reconciliation, and others were less optimistic. But what do the artists themselves have to say? Benny's been quiet, but Freddie addressed the situation in the interview with Complex's Jordan Rose, in which he accompanied the Alchemist to talk about their new album Alfredo 2. When Rose asked about the run-in with the Butcher and about when it happened, Gibbs didn't specify the time frame, but he did go into more detail than expected. And he says, I'ma say this. I mean, you saw me standing there. I was just in the airport. Everything that everybody tried to make out of it, that wasn't true. I barely even said a word. I was just standing there. I saw them, was standing there. Of course, we ain't a friendship. What we gonna do? I ain't going to jail over that. So y'all do y'all thing. Only thing I really said was, hey man, this ain't the time or place. I just tried to keep it gangster. I was on my way to London to meet up with Alchemist and get a bag. So I ain't about to F up my bag, effing with no N-words, Freddie went on. A lot of this rap-ish be some WWF-ish. So I don't get into that. I ain't never even spoke to Westside Gunn. So I don't know where all this comes from. I don't know. I didn't even really look at that ish. I looked at that ish and I saw people was talking about it and I was like, oh yeah? That's some more fake ish. It wasn't nothing that everybody was making it out to be. I was just standing there with my arms folded, bro. I barely said a word. But them N-words into wrestling ish, so they do that. I don't wrestle. You know, this is an unfortunate situation because I think this gave everybody an out. Nothing happened. Y'all saw each other. Nothing happened. So although it was a physical altercation before, I think this gave everybody out to say, yo, listen, I ain't thinking about that. That's how Gibbs could have answered that. Maybe they gave Gibbs a pass. Maybe Gibbs is right. Dude's too grown to be locked up in another country. After all, he was locked up in another country before, so he knows what that feel like. But I feel like this was the time to just say, yo, I ain't studying it. Yo, I ain't thinking about it. We saw each other, ain't nothing happened. That's it. And whatever happens after that happens. But I feel like when you say they making stuff up and all of that, it just keeps it going. I think that was the perfect moment to just say, look, whatever, y'all saw us kick it. We didn't really kick about nothing. Nothing was popping. That's it. But when you say, oh, they was making stuff up, now it's like the next time we see each other, do we take penitentiary chances? I don't think getting locked up in another country might be fun. So I don't know about all that. But I was hoping that they kicked it, you know, even if they say, yo, look, we gotta shoot the one. We gotta do that. Let's link up. Let's get it off. Let's do what we gotta do. It could have been like that, but what y'all think though? How would you feel if you seen somebody that you had an altercation with and you feel like they was running a fake play? Would you be like, yo, nah, they was faking it? You know, because again, we don't know what happened. All we know is what we saw. Westside was saying, yo, they together, they gotta talk, we gotta dead this. And it could have been left like that. Whether it was deaded or not, we would never know. But that was the room for the clean slate. That was the room for that. And I feel like by Gibbs responding like this, I feel like it just keeps going. And I'm not saying Gibbs is wrong, because if somebody physically put their hands on me, you can't tell me how to react. I'm just saying this might have been the opportune time to just let it go. You know, let it go. Just let it go. But again, I be turned sometimes too. I ain't into nobody running no fake plays, so I can't tell them how to react. But I just think for the music part of the culture, but I ain't gonna be no hypocrite. But what do y'all think about the situation? You think Gibbs should have responded like that? Or at this point, do you even care? That's another question to ask. Do you even care at this moment? Let me know what you think. I'm Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. Leave me a comment. Chime in on it. I'm a fan of everybody. I rock with Westside. I rock with Benny, and I damn sure rock with Freddie Gibbs. I wonder what situation does this put Alchemist in, because Alchemist is the collaborator, been the collaborator of, I don't want to say the moment, he's been the collaborator for the past few years with everybody. So what situation does this put him in? Does he now not work with somebody like it would be difficult for me as a producer to be doing projects with somebody and then they get into beef with somebody that I collaborate with, and then they beefing. Like, what situations does that put Alchemist in? And did he ever try to squash it? When that Drink Champs interview come out, I wonder if they asked Alchemist that. If he ever tried to squash it, if he ever tried to intervene. Not saying nobody will listen, but you know, like, being that he works with everybody, how does he feel about it? Because sometimes we got to take our common homeboy friend into consideration. So I wonder how that worked. But again, let me know what y'all think. Comment below. I'm Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. I need y'all to share. I need y'all to hit that like button. But most importantly, I need your comments. I'm a heart every comment. So make sure you comment on the page. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Doggie Diamonds did this.